All right, Ken Reid, let's bring him in. It's been far too long. He's enjoyed a renaissance in Western Canada at the Stanley Cup final. Hello, Kenny boy. Listen, on Spittin, Chiclets, it doesn't get much bigger than that, dude.
No, that was fun, Rod. It was fun. And yes, Youpi travaille pour les Canadiens de Montreal. Yeah, so yeah, Youpi was my favorite too. I remember meeting him in 1982 at my first big league game. That was a thrill. There you go.
He's something else. So you got your Western Canadian Baseball League hat. You got a lot of stuff going on, Ken. What's going on with you?
I got the old Canada baseball hat on. It was so nice to get back to Edmonton. I worked there for 3 years. Man, you talk about a change. The ice district. Wow. That's quite amazing down there. It was electric. It was obviously a total buzzkill after game 3, but after game 4, she was rocking. And I was just excited to get to see Shania Twain, to be honest. And then that Oilers win was something else. So maybe they bring it back. I don't know. I honestly don't have a clue.
Well, we are of the same vintage. Shania fan here, too. I thought I was the only one infatuated with Shania. Turns out there's a few other that are infatuated with Shania. I can't even speak thinking about her.
No.
Ken,
no.
Downtown Edmonton, I will just tell me your thing, and then I'll get into my thing about the Ice District. Why were you there? Were you there working? How did this whole Spittin' Chiclets thing come about?
So we were there working. We had our the old mobile truck that Ron used to use. They converted it just into the Sportsnet truck. So we set that up right at the Moss Pit. We were live at a game 3, live at a game 4 with post game. It was awesome. We had Luke Gazdic on set with us, and yeah, I was out there, and I think it was Biz. I texted Paul, and he texted back, "You in town? You want to go on?" Colby's like, "You want to go on?" So yeah, I'll go on. So that was a blast talking hockey with those guys, and it was awesome. I truly enjoyed the Ice District. I love the fact that, here's what I said, Rod. I'm up top, and since I live in Toronto now, and I'm stuck in the studio most times, the only NHL exposure I really get is a Leafs game. So I'm sitting up top, and I'm watching, and with Gaz, I go, can you imagine if the Leafs made the final? It wouldn't look like that. Because I said, no one down there is trying to look cool. No one has another agenda other than just to go to the Oilers game and cheer as loud as they can and be a maniac. Everyone's decked out in colors, in Oilers sweaters. It was awesome. Nobody was like, well, I wonder how cool I'm going to look when I go out after the game. They were there for one reason and one reason only. It reminded me of my child last night at the Blue Jays game. Screamed and yelled the whole time. There was people in front looking like I'm like this. And I was down. He was there with his team. They were looking. And I thought, am I going to do something? Okay, I'm a pretty old school dad, right? If my kid is in the mall, if he's in public, he's going to behave. He's going to look you in the eye. He's going to shake hands. He's going to say, hello, my name is Lou. And he's going to be polite. But if he's at a sporting event, haywire, buddy, give her. Do what you got to do. Be the fan that you want to be. And I love that at Edmonton, people were being the fans that they wanted to be. They were not there to impress anyone. There was no agenda. That's what I loved about the whole vibe of the Ice District. Everybody was there for the Oilers, not for, I better look cool if I'm going to some bar afterwards.
What's also cool about that is, I've been to Edmonton many times, road trips, visiting teams, stayed downtown. So now with the Panthers being my friends, they went in there as the enemy, and I said to them, don't wear your gear around, guys. I'm serious, because it might be a problem. And they were serious. I didn't want them to get hurt. I've seen it go down, and they're with my teams, and they said there was none of that. Which is just hats off to Edmonton, but hats off to Edmonton. Man, they just come off looking so great in this whole thing.
They do, and I love that. See, the way I get it is, you're both hockey fans, so why would you fight, right? You're not on the ice. Look, the football thing, I wouldn't wear any other team sweater to a Chicago game or a Green Bay game or a Raiders game, especially the Raiders back in the day. The Giants and Dodgers have had their issues. But we should all be united by the sport we love. Tip your cap to those who win. I sat beside a buddy last night. He's a Red Sox fan. So what? At least you're loving the same sport. But yeah, Edmonton came off total Ron Burgundy, total class.
Yeah, and Bob, it's hilarious that you said you've been in the studio pretty much your whole life, and now you want to get out of it. I've been on the front lines my whole life. Now I want to be in the studio. Everybody's like, you should be here. You should be here. I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. I don't want to be there. And the craziness, it's just the reverse. So it's pretty clear you're cheering for the Oilers in this, huh? Is that a Canadian thing or a deep-seated Montreal thing or a fan thing or what?
Oh, Rod, you know me as a strong, objective journalist. I have no sides in this quarrel.
How about that?
Come on, Rod. Let's face it. Come on. Look, it's a lot more fun from a Canadian perspective when the Oilers win. I think people can figure it out. I said when we showed Shania a high five and everybody after the game, and I said, when I was a kid, I loved the Montreal Canadiens, but I was smart enough to know that I was seeing something pretty special with the Edmonton Oilers. But growing up back east, an Oiler playoff game didn't come on until around 10 o'clock. So what my dad used to do, the trick was, all right, Kenny, if you want to watch the whole Oilers game tonight, you can sleep from 6 to 10. And then at 10, you can come down and watch the game from 10 to 1 with me. So I'd go up to my room. No, I didn't sleep. I'd toss and turn. But I was infatuated by the Oilers. And when Shania was high-fiving the guys the other day, I said, man, when I was a kid, I wanted to play for the Edmonton Oilers. And now I really, really want to play for them. They got to meet Shania. That's pretty cool.
That's incredibly cool. I mean, mine is George Strait. He's my guy, but I wouldn't say no to meeting Shania either. But I also want to say this. No. I mean, the Floridians don't know, unless they've been to Canada, the hockey fans in Florida think of it as this Narnia. I've said it before, which it is. Outdoor rinks and packed NHL arena. It's amazing. But what have you learned about Panthers fans in these playoffs, Ken, from the coverage that you've seen and so forth that you didn't know before?
I think passionate, just not in numbers, right? It's not going to, I think what's unique about Edmonton, not just compared to Panthers fans, but even compared to the city of Toronto, and I was telling this to Ivanka when we were there. When you go to Edmonton, everyone is invested in the Oilers. If you're here in Toronto and the Leafs are going on a run, can't really speak to that, but still, if the Leafs were going on a run, I think there'd be hundreds of thousands of people who'd be like, oh, that's nice. But in Edmonton, everyone is into it. So I think fans in Florida are clearly passionate. I think they're just not as huge in numbers. There's no history there to grab onto, save for that couple runs. But Edmonton has that great history. They were lucky to get that great history right out of the get-go, right? Right in there, when they pretty much, 5 years after they got to the NHL, they won a cup. You have Wayne skating around. Now you have Connor skating around. But I think that the difference between Edmonton and honestly most markets in the NHL is that everyone in the city is on board. It's not a quarter of a population or half or three quarters. It's pretty much 100%, and that's what I love about the Oilers vibe.
And they've acquitted themselves, as we've talked about, very well as a hockey market, and that's why I said I would be happy for both. But I do live in Florida now, and I think a Stanley Cup would change the hockey in Florida. It will forever. If it happens. Okay, you got a book, Ken, or something? What do you got going on that you're promoting? Spittin' Chiclets are behind you. What are we selling today, buddy?
Hey, I got to listen to this. This is breaking news, okay? I just got this email for my latest book. Yeah, buddy. My latest book, Ken Reid's Hometown Hockey Heroes, if you bear with me and I go through and find this email. This is huge. It's the Kobo Canada weekend sale, June 28th to July 2nd. Kobo, one of Canada's largest retailer platforms, has my book on Ken Reid's Hometown Hockey Heroes for $13.99. So there you go. That's breaking news, Rod. You're the first to find out. I got that email this morning from my publisher. So go on to
do you need
Kobo. Your glasses?
Do you need my reading glasses?
What? I did. Instagram at Kobo Books. I did need readers. I used readers until I got LASIK, and that made me okay. And they said they weren't sure if it would work.
How about that?
No, I don't need my readers anymore. But don't you feel kind of sophisticated when you can put them on? Feel a little smarter than everybody else?
People say I look like a general manager. I don't know.
You look smart,
I don't care how I look.
Smart. Yeah? Well,
all right, Kenny.
I clearly don't either.
Keep up the good work, my man. Thanks for coming on. Congrats on all the success.
Thank you, Rod. Congrats to the success you're having on your show. It's incredible what you've done. You know, I'm a fan, and keep getting pucks in deep, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Huge part of it right there. Sportsnet's Ken Reid and a wonderful team.